Hi guys! So there's been a lot of hype and confusion and opinions on probably the newest topic for raising children, and that is facing your child in a rear-facing car seat, how long you should do it, what are the benefits, and all that fun stuff. So I have taken the time to research all of the different aspects of rear-facing and what the laws are, what the recommendations are, what the facts are, and I even found a demonstration that I'm going to show you guys on my computer about forward-facing versus rear-facing. So I'm going to start out by saying that vehicle crashes are the #1 cause of death for children under the age of 14. Right now, the general law for most states, all states are different, so if you really want to know, you should go look it up yourself, like Google it, and you'll find some. Look for the websites that are .gov. Those are the main ones that you know that you can rely on because they're the government websites. So, but in general, in the United States, most of the laws, and like I said, this is in general, is that your child must be in a rear-facing car seat until the age of 1 and at least 20 pounds. In a car seat, forward-facing, until the age of 4 and 40 pounds. And in a booster seat until 8 and 80 pounds. And also the 8 and 80 pounds thing is really starting to be pushed by the U.S. to make it a law. So that's the main thing that residents of the United States are trying to push right now. So that's what the law is. As of right now, and like I said, they're all different, but that right now is the law, and if you follow that, then you can't get in trouble. But just because it's the law, and it is the bare minimum of what you have to do, doesn't mean that it's the best. So now I'm going to move on to what's best for your child, your infant, your newborn, your kid. I'm going to start out by saying that even with the best practice, not all injuries can be prevented. You can never 100% prevent something from happening to your baby. It's, as much as we would like to do it, it's not possible. But there have been recommendations made to ensure that you are doing the best possible thing for your child to make sure that they stay safe. Okay, so fact number 1, rear-facing is in a car is the safest for everybody, for adults, for children, for babies, for anyone. Hands down, it's the safest. So as of March 21st of 2011, that was about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, and I'm going to quote, "The American Academy of Pediatrics now recommends that all infants and toddlers should ride in a rear-facing car safety seat until they are 2 years of age or until they reach the highest weight and height allowed for their car seats manufacturer. Most rear-facing car seat manufacturers allow their car seats to be rear-facing until about 35 or 40 pounds. And I'll talk more about those car seats in a little bit, but right now I'm going to talk about why it's so important for your child to be rear-facing instead of forward-facing. Rear-facing car seats make it a significantly lessened chance of spinal cord injury during a frontal crash. And I'm going to I have like a demonstration for you, but I'm going to try to just kind of like explain it first. When you get in a car crash and you're facing forward, if you think about it, when you're sitting there, okay, and then you crash like this, what you do is your head is, because you have the safety belt right here, and if you're in a child restraint system, you have the two that go right here and they meet right here. When the impact happens, everything is held back but your head. So your head flies forward. For most people, for most adults, that would mainly just be, the ice cream man truck is over here, but that would mainly just be whiplash. They would just get whiplash. However, children's vertebrae do not fully fuse until anywhere from 3 to 5 years of age. Until then, they're at a great risk for internal decapitation. Sorry if it looks like I'm reading something. I took like a whole bunch of notes from all this research that I did, so I'm like looking down, trying to like remember all of it. So back to my demonstration. When the impact happens, you're being held back like this, and you're going to go forward and you're going to get whiplash. The studies that people have done on car crashes shows that when you get in a car crash, your spinal cord, the crash can make your spinal cord stretch up to 2 inches. However, the spinal cord can only handle being stretched up to 1/4 of an inch before the baby's neck snaps and they die. So that's kind of a huge deal. So what would normally just be whiplash for an adult will actually snap the baby's neck, and they'll most likely die or have a really horrible, tremendous injury. Now, when your baby is facing backwards, so pretend I'm facing backwards and the crash goes this way. So you're like this. This is my car seat. And when you get in the crash, your whole body, or the baby's whole body takes the impact rather than just their head. Since they're facing backwards, their entire body, here's the car seat. When the crash is going this way, so when they crash, their entire body, so here's the head, their entire body takes the impact rather than if you're facing forward. So if you're facing forward, you're being held back and your head goes forward. So once again, I'm going to show a demonstration of that in a minute, but that's just kind of like that's how I see it. Now, a lot of people argue that if they're rear facing, what about their legs? Won't their legs break? Isn't that just as bad? And actually, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, the rear facing car seats are not a safety risk just because their child's legs are bent. And I heard someone say this before, and I'm going to use it because it's true. If they're in a rear-facing car seat and they get in a car crash and their legs break, you can cast it. If you're in a forward-facing car seat and you get in a car accident, you're going to be in a casket. So cast it or casket? Which one do you pick? If your child is in a forward-facing car seat and you get in a car crash, they're 4 times more likely to die than a child facing backwards. Just by the positioning of your car seat, it makes it a 4 times difference of whether your child will survive or not. I don't know about you guys, but just that alone sold me on the rear facing. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the actual demonstration that I found. There are a whole bunch of them. You can just Google it or you can YouTube it. You just search it on YouTube and you find a whole bunch of them. But this is the best one that I found that really shows, it's an actual accident. So the car is here and they have a forward-facing car seat here and a backwards-facing car seat here. And it's the same exact crash, so it's the same exact impact. And it shows what happens to the child that's forward-facing versus the child that's rear-facing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now. Alright, so sorry this is kind of ghetto-fied because I'm trying to just hold my laptop in front of it. And some other language. So there's the forward. And there's the forward and back. There's the forward, watch the head, and there's the back, the rear facing, and nothing. See the head? Look at that. That child is gone versus this child, there's nothing. Their legs bend a little bit, but your legs bend. When you're facing backwards, if your legs bend, they're not going to break. So you can rewind that if you need to see it again, because my arms hurt from holding that up. But you guys can see how huge of a difference it is from facing forwards and facing backwards. A lot of people don't want to face their child forward because their kid will scream the entire car ride. Well, I know that can be extremely annoying and extremely hard to hear your child crying like that, and sometimes it'll get pretty crazy. Like I've heard Lilia, if she's really tired, sometimes she'll fall asleep, and if not, then she'll just scream in the car. So I know what it's like for your kid to be screaming in the back of the car, and it's not fun at all, and it's almost heartbreaking sometimes because you do not want to hear your child screaming like that. But is a few minutes of crying and screaming worth their life? I don't think so. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the different car seats that you can purchase to enable your child to sit in a rear-facing car seat for as long as possible. Most of the time when you're pregnant, you look into getting a travel system, as did I. I did the same exact thing, and that comes with an infant car seat. And an infant car seat is perfectly fine. It's just... Hold on, let me go get Lilia. Okay, so Lilia just woke up from her nap. Lilia! Look at your crazy hair. Look at that pretty baby. Who's that pretty baby? Yeah, that's you. That's you, pretty baby. And her hair is a mess. And my camera just died, so I had to plug it in, so that's why it's at a different angle. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So I think I was talking about your child being, like when you purchase the travel system and you use it's called an infant car seat. You look at baby. And that's perfectly fine, and what you do is you use it up to, or you can use the infant car seat up until the maximum, the manufacturer's maximum height and weight limit for the car seat. So after Lilia reached, I think, I'm not exactly sure at all what the infant car seat was, what the max for ours was. I think it was something like 30 or 35. But after your baby outgrows the infant car seat, you don't have to go straight to a forward-facing car seat. What we got, and what a lot of people actually get, because there's a lot of them out there, it's called a convertible car seat. And you can, for most of these, they all have different, hi Pookie, they all have different height and weight limits on them, but most of them are advised your child can be facing backwards up to 35 and 40 pounds, and forwards up to 50 or 65 pounds. So the one that we bought for Lilia, because she doesn't use her infant one anymore. Well, she does once in a while, but only if we're using someone else's car, because, like I said, she's still under the maximum limit for the height and weight. But we did get a new one just because she's getting really big in that one, and we had to buy one eventually, so we decided to go get one. What we got is called the Graco My Ride 65. And that one faces backwards up until 40 pounds, and we're going to be facing backwards until at least 40 pounds. And it faces forwards up to 65 pounds. And that retails for about $149. We got ours from Target. I'm sure they have it at Walmart, and for sure Babies R Us. We just went to Target and bought the one that had the highest max for facing backwards. And there might be more out there that have like a higher max, but not any ones that we saw. So you can research it, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find one that is. 40 pounds is, generally speaking, it's about a 3 to 4 year old. Of course, there are some small 4-year-olds and there are some large 2-year-olds, but in general, it'll be about a 3 to 4 year old. So it'll last you a good 3 to 4 years facing backwards. What's that? What's that? What do you see? Cutie. You cutie patootie. So there are 3 different types of car seats, and I already talked about 2 of them. One of them is the infant car seat, and I think it goes about up to 30 or 35 pounds. And then you have the convertible car seat, which can face backwards. Well, the infant car seat can't face forward at all, so don't ever face your infant seat forwards because it's not meant to do that. So then you buy the convertible seat, and that faces backwards. Most of them face backwards up until about 40 pounds, and then they face forward up until about 65 pounds. And there's also something that I just found out about when I was researching it right now, and it's called a 3-in-1 seat, and it can face backwards until 35 to 40 pounds, forwards up to 50 or 65 pounds, and it can also be used as a booster seat from 80 to 100 pounds. And those retail anywhere from $120 to $329. So you can also get that, and then you're set for pretty much until they're 8 years old and don't have to use a car seat anymore. And if I knew about that, I might have actually looked into getting one, but I didn't know about it. I just saw the convertible car seats, and that's what we got. So anyway, that's pretty much all the information that I have right now. The main point I want to get across, and the point of making this video, was to please, for your sake and your child's sake, don't face your baby forward until at least age 2, at the very, very least, or until they reach the maximum of your manufacturer's car seat limit. It's your life. You can do, you're the parent and you know what's best for your child, but these are just the facts that I found, and these are the current recommendations and the current laws. So although the law is to rear face, someone's getting into my notes. So although the law is to only face your child rear facing up until 20 pounds and 1 year old, that's the minimum law. You can do it past that. It's not against the law to keep them facing backwards. And there's not one study out there, one situation out there that I could find that proves that forward facing is better than rear facing. In every single situation possible, rear facing is better. So please just rethink this. And I know like 100 years ago people didn't do this, but 100 years ago there was also a lot more deaths because of this. So please, just for your child's safety, your child's sake, please face them backwards until at least age 2. You don't have to, it's not a law, but it's safer in every way possible to face them, to have them rear facing for as long as possible. This is just an informational video. You can take it or leave it. You can do whatever you think is best for your family, but this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be rear facing until 3 or 4 years old. Wait, oh, you're eating my paper. Oh, thank you. Are you sharing? Thank you. You're so sweet. Is that good? Yeah? Okay. If you guys have any questions, you can leave a comment or send me a personal message. And other than that, I will talk to you guys for my next update. Bye! Say bye-bye!